What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
Good as night, right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink.
Look a damn mess, just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. What up, what up, what up? What's good? What is up? I am L Teddy 27. If you did not read it somewhere on screen, who I am, that is who I am, L Teddy 27 official. And this is another review. This is going to be our review for the haves and the have-nots, season 7, episode 12. So we start off where we left off at the end of episode 11 with Jim at gunpoint by his son. I think the guy's name is Jimmy, whatever his name is. They have all this back and forth. Jim posturing. At this point, Jim is going to say and do whatever he can to get the guy to put the gun down. So there's all this posturing Jim is doing. It's just a mess. He lying about having feelings for Celine and being sorry for the person he is. We know that ain't true. Anyway, I mean, this is trash writing and even more trash acting. Trash ass writing. Trash ass acting. I'm not here for this, okay? Anyway, the guy throws the gun down. They find out it was a fake gun. I told y'all there was no way you were going to get us to believe that Jim was going to die. Anyway, back down to the jail. Catherine's still screaming like a goddamn banshee. She's still over here screaming to Holy Hell all about her son, this, that, and the third. Mama Rose is in the cell next to her. Now, mind you, if we go back to last season, we never saw them bring Mama Rose in. And that jail cell area they're in has one way in and one way out, it looks like. We never saw them bring Mama Rose in. During the entirety of this episode, when we was back at the scene with Wyatt, he said he strategically planned it because they were in between shifts. So nobody was back there anyway. That's how he was able to cut his own wrist. A mess. How did Mama Rose magically get in jail, Tyler? And we never saw her get there. Because if they would have brought her in jail, they would have seen Wyatt's body laid out. Make it make sense. See, this is that dumb shit. Bad writing. Anyway, Mama Rose ain't got on no jumpsuit now. Make that make sense. She ain't got on nobody's jumpsuit. Matter of fact, they got a love seat recliner in her jail cell with her in her civilian clothes. A mess. Everybody kowtowing to her. Everybody catering to her needs. She say shut up. Everybody shut up. She say dim the light. Say dim the light. It's a whole ass fucking shit show and mess. Catherine doesn't recognize her at first because remember, Jim always dealt with Mama Rose. Catherine has no idea who she is. So she was like, oh, you're Mama Rose. And Mama Rose was like, yes, and I know who your son is, and I know who your husband is because your husband fucked me. I was like, Jim, I really figured you'd have more class and style than that, Jim. But girl, I guess you don't. Anyway, Catherine wants Mama Rose to get the officers and ask the officers about how her son Wyatt is doing. Mama Rose said, yeah, that's that son that stabbed or shot my son Benny. I think she said Wyatt stabbed Benny. And so Mama Rose was like, I don't have it to do with him. Not right now. I ain't gonna have them look for him now. We'll worry about that later. You're gonna wait for a little bit on that since you had my son stabbed by your son. Anyway, down to the hospital. So Wyatt, who last time we saw him was incapacitated and unconscious, is now magically up, alive, vocal, active, and everything. They done handcuffed him to the bed, hospital bed, and not no side. I mean, they got the little tape around his wrist, but he went from being incapacitated to being, like nothing happened. A mess. Just a damn mess. Anyway, he's shackled to the bed. The nurse comes, he buzzing the nurse. The nurse comes in, he complains to her that if they're too tired, and she lets them loose. Like, they really do that. She looses them. Then she goes out and tells the officer who's on his post outside of the door that does he need some coffee? And he was like, yeah, but I'm going to go with you because I ain't afraid of him getting loose. So let me get this straight. You're supposed to be on duty, on post at his bed or in front of his room, and you just leave that post, right? That's how that works. To go get some coffee. A mess. While officer is going, Jim's son done left his room the one who's Celine's son as well, and then came over to Wyatt's room. And they had a back and forth. I really don't see the point. I mean, because Wyatt was just as racist to old boy as Jim was. I really didn't see the point of this whole scene. I had no time for it, no parts of it. I just was like, this must be another little guy that Tyler Perry done sucked off or got banged out by, and he promised him a role in one of his shows. And apparently he must be did a good job because you landed on the have and have-nots. A mess. A mess. Jeffrey and Madison are in bed. During sex. This shit was gross. Like the whole Madison Jeffrey sex scene was gross to me. Madison turns Jeffrey down. Jeffrey was like, I'm ready for round 3. Jeffrey looking down at his meat, saying his meat is up and he needs round 3. Madison say, I don't have no more in me. I don't have it to do no more. I need to go home. Jeffrey like, you ain't gonna stay and take care of my ugly needs. Madison is like, no. You need to let me go home. And he gets up and gets dressed to go home. Let me say this to you, Madison. And this is for any of you gay men and or straight women who likes the menses. What you never want to do, this is advice from me. Come in close. Come in close, my loves. What you never want to do is leave a man with a hard-ass dick. Because a hard-ass dick is a recipe for cheating. If you tell your man you can't take care of him and his hard-ass dick, he's going to find a way to take care of that hard-ass dick. And there's no shortage of individuals out there ready and willing to take care of that hard-ass dick. Y'all know what's about to happen, right? Justin is about to get some of that hard-ass dick. Y'all mark my words. Jeffrey gonna end up at Justin's house, getting bust down by Justin. But that's a whole nother situation. We did see Veronica's the new maid that we met last season. Well, last episode, I should say it's the same season. The new maid, we met her and her light-skinned husband. Now, she's going through all the clothes that Veronica gave her. We find out, because remember, they're supposed to be doing this whole scheme where they're going to rob Veronica blind, get all her bank account numbers and so forth, and steal valuable things from her home, so forth and so on. They got this scheme in together. We find out that they're working with Derek. Yes, that Derek who Hannah was dating. Whew, sorry, y'all. And also who Veronica has been taken advantage of. She's been threatening him and getting him to do all kinds of stuff for her because she helped him with one of his cases. So they're supposed to take Veronica for everything she owns. And they're supposed to split it 50-50. Now, Derek tells the husband, listen, you need not trust Veronica. You don't need to treat her like she's normal. Matter of fact, if she gave your wife all those clothes, I don't see it being good. But you know he's young and dumb and full of coming. He ain't gonna listen. He think he got it. Can I say, Tyler Perry, your role and your call is not to do writing. It's not even to do directing. Your gift is for casting. Can we get Tyler Perry to do the male casting for all black shows? Because if Tyler Perry don't do nothing else, now he ain't gonna get you he ain't gonna do no good writing, he ain't gonna do no good directing. But baby, he is gonna give you some wonderful, beautiful black menses to look at. And we got no shortage during this episode. We did see Marty meeting with the two guys that's supposed to be handling Catherine's financial. He tells them that Hannah is now the power of attorney. They don't want to, they ain't trying to hear it. They don't want to work with Hannah. Matter of fact, they started equating Hannah to a dog because they said that, remember that case we had of the lady who went crazy and left all her power of attorney to a dog? This is the same thing. It's a damn mess. It's a damn mess. Anyway, they want to deem Catherine incompetent and maybe be able to take over the assets or whatever. Marty tells them, y'all need to let that go. That's not going to happen. Whew. Sorry, y'all. Down at Veronica's house, she's having sex with Chocolatey Goodness from earlier who got out the pool last episode. Baby, come to find out, Chocolatey Goodness ain't working with a whole lot downstairs. I mean, you couldn't have the trifecta. That trifecta being a beautiful face, a banging ass body, and a dick swinging towards your knees. That's the trifecta. Clearly, he doesn't have the trifecta. He's got a cute face and a nice body, but apparently he's working with a pen. Veronica said, bitch, I already got a pen. And if I wanted to use the pen, I would have just got one from off my desk. I was like, that's a mess. She told that young man, he's embarrassing all black men everywhere. She said, hey, baby, you making all black men look bad. She said, you making black men everywhere look bad. I said, you know what? That girl Veronica, that horse said, I know women with bigger penises than that. I said, you know what? A mess. A mess. He got all mad at his feelings and said, somebody should kill you. I had to kill you myself. And she was like, well, if your gut is any indication, if your dick is any indication of what your gut is like, I ain't got nothing to be worried about. I was like, you know what, Veronica? Y'all notice how Tyler Perry can do writing when he's talking about dick, and more dick. Any other writing, he don't know how to talk about that. A mess, Tyler. A mess. Anyway, the two finance dudes, they're back at the restaurant after they left Marty's. Come to find out, they done already moved some of this money. And so now they got to figure out how they're going to explain this to Hannah. They also were mulling over having this go before a judge and having Catherine deemed incompetent and having them take over the finances or whatever. It seemed funny to me, though. It seemed real funny. They are playing on Hannah's ignorance, and they're going to use her as the scapegoat for all of their misdeeds and whatnot. So I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to go with them blaming it on Hannah, because y'all know Hannah ain't going to let that go over well. That's not going to go over well with Hannah. Down to the Malone's bar. They've been trying to get Hannah to leave. Hannah won't leave. Benny gives her a last-ditch effort, says, Mama, let's go. Hannah ain't trying to hear it. Candace and Mitch say, yeah, go ahead and leave Benny. Benny leaves, and then Candace calls in the goons. Get this whore. Baby, it was so funny to me when Hannah was yelling, get your hands off of me. Let me go. No. I was dying in my house. I was like, Hannah, girl, it was a mess. Just a damn mess. Then we see at David Harrington's house, some chick named Alyssa is outside. She claims she's friends with Erica and got some video Erica wanted her to see at 12:18 on a full moon this night. Child, she shows him the video, and David looks at half the video. All the while, I'm watching Erica on this cell phone. Y'all know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about Mother. Who's Mother? Spiller Boy TV. James Caldwell. And every time I think about Hannah, I can't do nothing but picture James mimicking old girl when she was burned to death in that goddamn car like this. If you've never seen that before, go to Spiller Boy TV and watch his review of that episode where Erica got burned in when the car exploded. It's a mess. He said, because she literally, that's how she looked, burned to a crisp with her mouth open. A mess. Anyway, he watches a portion of it and dismisses her and tells security to take care of her. Oliver done got a dude to fly up there to Detroit, dude that's working for Jim. So he flew up there on Oliver's dad's plane. Come to find out, Oliver's dad don't see it for Charles at all. He has Oliver there to mess up shit and bring it up. And so, because Oliver's dad plans to run for president, possibly against Charles' next election cycle. So Oliver gets some drugs from the dude. Did anybody notice that Oliver was sweating profusely in that scene? I don't know what it was for. I don't know why he was sweating profusely, but it didn't seem like he had taken any drugs yet, and the guy had just handed him the drugs. I don't know why he was sweating, but he was sweating profusely, okay? And then we see they have this back and forth. Now, I told you, I thought at first that Oliver liked the dude sexually. Now, I don't know. I don't know what Oliver is in this for. I really don't care. We're moving on. At David's house, that same whore didn't go anywhere. She done got damn near naked, just got on her lingerie in the fountain, flopping around in the goddamn fountain. Just a mess. Madison comes downstairs. David sees him, and they have this awkward exchange before Madison leaves. That was a mess, too. What was even more awkward was Madison and his, catcalling of the girl in the fountain. Like, get it, girl, get it, bitch. I was like, don't do that, Tyler. Don't do that. That didn't go over well. Next, we see Benny. He's at home. He reads some article that talks about how Veronica represented David, the David who he thinks is the guy who raped his mom. He calls Veronica, and she answers. She says, "I'm horny. You need to come over." He was like, "Oh, did you represent some guy named Derek?" She says, "Yes." He was like, "Listen, I need his address." She gave him her address. He was was like, that's your address. She was like, yeah, you need to come over here to get it because I'm horny as hell. I was like, I guess. Anyway, also, I noticed that Veronica referenced Benny having little meat as well, saying that, he needs to buy one of them little condoms like normal. Veronica, I like you loves me a young man, early 20s, when you talk about illegal. But we talk about 20, 21, 22, 20 to 25. I'm here for that. But you need better choicing and selection skills because all my little young men that I pick, that's that age, are built like tripods, have third legs and strong backs. They ain't got no money to offer you, so they might as well be cute as hell, have a big donkey-ass dick and a strong-ass back. That's all they good for, honey. Girl, what the fuck you doing fucking with a little boy, a young man like that, and he ain't got no dick? You don't believe that shit? Veronica, come see me, girl. I can help you out with that, honey. I can help you out. Anyway, the Malones, they show up down to the jailhouse. We then see the guy who arrested Mama Rose is at the counter. At the information that at the counter where you go talk to the people at. Him and Uncle Vinny have this white man with their white privilege pissing contest. Uncle Vinny then has one of his goons cover the camera, and then Uncle Vinny pulls out his gun and shoots old boy in the head. Bam! And that's all she wrote for him, I guess. And that's where it goes off from there, I think. Yes. Child, all of this bad writing, Tyler. All of this horrible storytelling. Tyler, girl. Tyler. Now, that's all I got for y'all. Please, if you know me, you should anticipate over the next day or so my review for Lovecraft Country Season 1, Episode 2. You don't want to miss that. Trust me. It is good. This last episode of Lovecraft Country was so good. Y'all need to go watch it so you can be ready for my review that's coming out in the next 24 hours. Until then, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.